What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. We're wearing the disappearing Arsenal shirt, and it is time for Week 26 Premier League predictions. Thank you so much for all of the support on the channel. If you like your football, your predictions, and everything like that, be sure to subscribe down below. We're getting very, very close to 32,000 subscribers, and a lot of you watching this video aren't actually subscribed, so I really appreciate it. Now let's get straight in. Kicking it off, we have Friday night football with Leicester and Brentford, and I think this is a really high value fixture. Leicester struggling in the Premier League. We correctly predicted that they would lose 2-0 to a somewhat depleted Arsenal in the last game week, and Brentford, I actually thought they would draw against West Ham, and they ended up picking up an away win, which for Brentford this season, if you've been following the league, you know is pretty rare, and I think they're going to do it again back to back. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Brentford, and the tip is going to be Brentford to win at 2.05. Now, before we get into Everton up against Manchester United, flashing up on the screen are all of the people that are supporting me over on the Patreon and get access to exclusive members tips and accumulators. You can message me directly in private if you want to, and of course you get a shout out in every single video. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then be sure to click the Patreon link in the description, head over there and support me. But as I said, we travel to Goodison Park for Everton up against Manchester United. Now, Everton, they beat Palace away from home. We did tip for the first time in the Premier League successfully as well. Obviously, I haven't had non-successful tips in the Premier League. I just want to make that clear. I've tipped this once. It was the Palace-Everton game. We tipped both teams to score and under 3.5 goals at odds of 3.2, and it came in with Everton winning 2-1, which is a phenomenal result. Man United lost to Tottenham away from home 1-0. Absolute L, to be honest, and I think Everton are going to win this one, and I'm going to actually go for the same scoreline that Man United lost by against Tottenham. Everton to win 1-0, and the tip is Everton draw no bet at 1.72. Yes, I'm predicting Man United to lose. Videos always get more dislikes when you predict Manchester United to lose, but sue me. It is what it is, and I think Everton can actually get the job done. Now, after this, it is Arsenal up against West Ham, and I'm going to be honest, my initial gut reaction was a 1-1 draw. Massively against the odds. It really, really was. But I'm thinking at the Emirates, even if Arsenal are depleted, they've got to win. Liverpool dropped points to Aston Villa. We correctly predicted a 2-2 draw in that game. And they've also got Man City this week. So Arsenal need to win this game to close the gap. Arsenal lost to West Ham, I believe, in the 23-24 season, and it was one of the worst performances I've ever seen. And I feel like that, you could say it was the Villa game in April where we lost, but we lost the league by 2 points. If Arsenal beat West Ham like they should have done, then they would have won the league. Simple as that, and I'm just a bit scared for this fixture. So I thought about predicting a draw, and then if Arsenal win, that's good for my team, but I'm just going to shade it to Arsenal 2-1. But the tip is going to be both teams to score at odds of 2.2. I just think there's a little blip in Arsenal. It was a good 2-0 win against Leicester, but I just feel like Arsenal might throw this. They really shouldn't. They've scored 11 against West Ham in their last two meetings, so it should be plain sailing, but I'm a little bit scared. I'm going to go 2-1 to Arsenal and both teams to score. Now, after this, it's another gut feeling. It's Bournemouth up against Wolves. Bournemouth are really pushing. They could get a Champions League spot this season. Now, me personally, as someone who's lived near Bournemouth their whole life, apart from, until recently when I moved away, I've been to Bournemouth games when they're in League One, League Two, and everything like that. I hope Bournemouth don't get Champions League. I mean, it'd be cool for a one-off season to, welcome Bayern Munich to the Vitality Stadium for a Champions League game, for example, but I'd rather Bournemouth got into like the Conference League and actually had a decent chance of winning a trophy. I think Bournemouth in the Conference League would be the perfect sweet spot of European pedigree, but winnable. So I think I could see them dropping points here. Liverpool failed to get a single shot on target, I think, against Wolves in that second half, and Liverpool managed to get the win, like title winners do. When they're not playing well, they get the win. And I think Wolves could get something from this game. I think the odds are that Bournemouth will win. I could definitely see them going for a win, but this is a gut reaction, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And the tip is both teams to score at 1.66. I think the most likely outcome is Bournemouth and both teams to score. So if you like Bournemouth to win, go for that at the same odds of both teams to score. If you like Bournemouth and both teams to score, go for that as well. But a gut feeling, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. After this, it is Fulham up against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, as I said, lost to Everton, which was really unexpected, to be honest. I thought they'd be able to get a point from that. And obviously, Fulham, they beat Nottingham Forest, and deservedly so, at home. When they play at Craven Cottage, they do play really well. I initially put Fulham home win. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to change. I put Fulham home win, then I changed it to a 2-2 draw, but I'm going to change it back to a Fulham home win. Fulham to win 2-1. The tip, do I go? You know what? I'm going to do it. I was going to tip both teams to score on over 2.5 goals at 2.25, but I'm going to go with the original prediction. Fulham to win at 2.05. I'll back them at Craven Cottage. Watch this be a 2-2 draw, and my tip and previous score prediction comes in. But you know what? Fulham to win 2-1 at 2.05. Now, after this, it is Ipswich up against Tottenham. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Tottenham handed Ipswich their first win of this Premier League season when they met last time. And although Tottenham are decimated with injuries and everything like that, I just don't think Ipswich do the double on them. So I think it will be close. I'm going to go for Tottenham to win 2-1, and it's my highest odds tip of the week, just because I think Tottenham will definitely concede, but they kind of have to win. I'm going to go for Tottenham to win and both teams to score at 3.25. After this, it's a very intriguing fixture. It's Southampton up against Brighton. Obviously, Brighton, they smashed Chelsea last time out 3-0, and Southampton, they lost to Bournemouth on a -1 handicap, as we predicted last time out as well. I could see Southampton getting something from this game, but I'm not going to go for it. I think Brighton and both teams to score is a brilliant shout, to be honest. I'm going to go for another 2-1. 2-1 to Brighton. How many have I got today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2-1s in this video. 2-1 to Brighton, but instead of Brighton and both teams to score, I am going to go both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at 1.95, just in case we see a 2-2 or another Southampton 2-1 win like we predicted against Ipswich. I'm trying to cover as many bases as possible. Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. After this, we travel to Villa Park for Aston Villa up against Chelsea. And I've got a draw here, but I tell you what, you know what? I might shade it to Aston Villa. I won't go 2-1 again. I'll actually up the score. I was going to go for a 2-2 draw, but instead, I'm going to go for Aston Villa to win 3-2. The tip is going to stay the same. Both teams to score on over 2.5 goals at 1.72. Chelsea need to bounce back and at least score a goal against Villa, which I think they could do. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, we correctly predicted that Villa and Liverpool would draw 2-2, which is quite cool. So, yeah, why not? Aston Villa to win 3-2. Both teams scoring over 2.5 goals, just in case Chelsea turn up and win 3-1, or it is a 2-2 draw. Again, BTTS and over 2.5 goals with these two teams covers a lot of bases, and I think we'll be okay for the tip there. Now, after this, it doesn't get any easier to predict. Genuinely, I've really struggled to predict the fixtures this week. Not once in any of the 10 have I gone for a team to win by more than 1 goal. I think it's a really tough game week to predict. It's Newcastle up against Nottingham Forest. Now, Newcastle, they obviously got demolished by Man City. We tipped Man City to win at 1.85. They ended up losing 4-0. And Nottingham Forest lost to Fulham, and deservedly so. So both teams want to bounce back here. Newcastle, will they have an eye on the Carabao Cup final? I know it's in a few weeks, but still, a player doesn't want to get injured and miss that game, miss a chance at the trophy, and I just don't know how this one's going to go. I think at home, Newcastle should beat Nottingham Forest, but Forest need to bounce back from a Fulham loss. I don't know which way to go. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. It's so boring. I wish I had the cojones to predict a winner. I think it should be Newcastle, but you never know. The tip is both teams to score at 1.61, and now it is game of the week. Man City up against Liverpool. Man City have a real chance to help Arsenal in the title race. Like they've had for the last few years, they could have lost a couple more games and given us the title. They have the chance to take points off Liverpool here, but they're not playing for nothing. They need to secure Champions League football now that they've been eliminated by Real Madrid. They want it next year. They can't not be in the Champions League, right? So Man City need a result here against Liverpool, and I really hope they get it. I just don't see it. I think Liverpool are better than them, really. They're favourites to win, just about, and I'm going to predict a Liverpool win and hope that it doesn't come true. I hope Arsenal beat West Ham, Man City beat Liverpool, and that would close the gap to like 2 points, is it? It would be 5 points, but Arsenal would have a game in hand. So potentially 2 points, which then means if Arsenal win their game in hand and they beat West Ham and Liverpool lose to Man City, it is in Arsenal's hands, because that means if Arsenal beat Liverpool, they'd go 1 point ahead. And I can't believe I'm saying that. Liverpool are gonna win the league. If Arsenal were at full strength for the rest of the season, every game, then I think Arsenal could make a little comeback, and they'd need a helping hand from Man City here, but I just don't see it. I think Liverpool are going to win, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Liverpool, and the tip is Liverpool to win at 2.5. 3. So actually, I've predicted every team in the Premier League to score this week, except for Manchester United. You can get odds of about 150 to 1 if you back every team to score in the Premier League, and it definitely could happen. But yeah, I think Liverpool are going to win. I think Arsenal are going to struggle to win, to be honest, but hopefully they get the job done. And maybe Bournemouth drop points, maybe Forest drop points. I don't know. I hope Man City win. I hope Bournemouth win. I hope Arsenal win. But here's hoping. But that does it for this video. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like, subscribe, as I said, so you don't miss any future videos. I will see you in the next one very soon.